And what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Juice is Loose, number 122. I'm your host, Terminator Juice, and we're a couple men shy right now, a couple Rob shy. Gaming with me is going to try to join later on, probably about an hour. And rule two, he's at work, so it's just going to be Mizza T and Terrell and myself, and basically going to give some quick impressions on Shantae and Ratchet and Clank, and then we're going to run down a recap of the 2016 in gaming, and basically going to just look at the titles of the past Juices Loose podcasts. Number 74 was really the first one. I did a game of the year in the first week of January, so we're going to start at number 74 and take us up to present day and kind of reminisce and recall kind of what 2016 was for us, and then kind of have a discussion afterwards of just how we felt about it as a whole in gaming. So let's I guess we'll just do quick introductions because and I got an echo going on. I don't know if anyone else is hearing that.
I'm hearing it.
I don't hear it.
Yeah.
So does that mean it's me?
Yeah, it is you.
Could be.
I don't see how. I have headphones in.
No, it's gone now. So
okay.
anyway, what's up, Mezza T? I just Merry Christmas to you, and I guess if you got any games or anything for Christmas, even though we're as adults, I tend not to get stuff like that for Christmas. But why don't you say hi and tell us how your Christmas went?
Hey there, folks. Mr. T here. Yeah, getting stuff for Christmas is years and decades ago. As far as games, obviously you'll buy yourself something, but technically, I guess my wife bought the PlayStation 4 for me, so that was a great present.
Why you say it like that? It's like that backhanded compliment. Like, yeah, I appreciate that, honey.
And Mezza T still hasn't accepted my friend request on PlayStation.
I was thinking about that today too. I was like, I don't think I'll be on it today, so you got to wait.
It's funny because it's like you got your friends list, and then you got the messaging system, and then you got a notification system in there, and it's like I had to because somebody accepted my friend request when I don't remember who, Dr. Feelgood, somebody, when I wasn't on, and I didn't even know they ever accepted it. It was weird. I don't know if I have that. Maybe I have that notification turned off, but I went there. I was like, oh, there's a friend request I didn't even know about from Perry Fan, which I accepted. And it's a weird system. It's not as all in one spot as some people made it sound like. I don't know. Terrell, obviously you don't have one, but T, I don't know if you mess with that at all or added anybody, but it's kind of weird how it's like the messages and the friends list thing's kind of separate.
No, man, I think that whole you touched on it in your video a little bit. I think that whole idea of messaging from your console is outdated.
It is.
When it happened, there were no smartphones around when that first came to be with the Xbox original. So it makes sense, and people got used to that. And you think that, well, that's the standard. Well, we got to move on from standards, And for me, it's too cumbersome. I'm not always on my consoles every day, so I'm gonna miss stuff. And sometimes when I jump on, like you said, I haven't even requested or accepted your friend request yet, because it's cumbersome to me. That's a cumbersome way, especially when we have the technology that we have now.
Pretty archaic at this point.
It's pretty archaic, yeah. So, what I was saying about nothing. My kids had a great Christmas. Make sure of that. Good eating and all that good stuff. Had fun and nothing. I'm still waiting on Shantae. I got the physical copy for Wii U, so that's not going to be here until Thursday, I think I saw on Amazon. So nothing else other than that though.
All right. How about you, Terrell? You have a good Christmas, and did your mom get you anything? Any games?
Oh, well, hey, side note, I accepted
major
your friend request, Juice. I accepted that friend request you sent me a while ago. So
on PS2?
Yeah, he's on PS3, so.
Well, no, actually, I did it when I was downloading the PlayStation app on my phone. I was like, okay, there's the friend request. I might as well accept that eventually.
PlayStation app. That makes sense. That's up to date. Not, Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. Christmas was fine. I mainly just chilled out with the main family. We didn't really I mean, I got gifts, but none of them were gaming related. My mom hasn't bought me anything gaming related since I was like 16. I got a mini fridge, so I mean, so it gives me less of a reason to leave my room during gaming. So, but other than that,
reject.
Hey man, I don't like people. People are mean and weird and shit. But I didn't really buy any games. I mean, I've been playing some stuff on. Oh no, that's a lie. I didn't buy it, but I am trying out Street Fighter 5. I'll say that. Which is interesting. I'll say that much. Which sucks because the Steam sale is tempting me, but I don't want to spend more than $10 on that game, so I'm not going to.
What
That's
game?
why Street Fighter 5.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, I'll mess around with it, but that's about it. I still ordered the physical version of Shantae. I've already beaten the game on Wii U 100% and on PC, but I still got the physical version coming because Shantae, I will get a physical version regardless. But yeah, it was just a pretty chill Christmas. Everyone was happy. No violence broke out, so I'm good.
Nice. Yeah, I don't even ask for presents, from my family. So my mom got me some t-shirts and stuff, and the fun stuff, clothes and like that. But I bought myself Ratchet and Clank and for $20 for the PS4, and I probably feel like I'm pretty close to the end. I would say I'm over 70% through it. And it's one of those things where I didn't really have enough games to like do a top 5 games of 2016. So I picked up a couple games recently, kind of trying to expand my gaming horizons. And it's not a bad game, but it's pretty much what the demo suggested to me. It's pretty average, and it's, especially when I first played the demo, I was right in the middle of playing Splatoon a lot, and it's like, just give me gyro aiming. Like, just why? Gravity Rush has gyro aiming, so there's no control options for camera speed, for anything. Like, it's like there's like no control options, and it's just a sluggish, like, they went for visuals, so it's 30 frames per second and it runs smooth. There's no hiccups or anything, but it's just so slow, and there's no real dodge mechanics, so you just kind of double jump constantly to like dodge enemies. And it just, the mechanics are just very dated feeling, and aiming with the right analog stick, you got to have the auto aim on, otherwise you just don't have a chance. It doesn't auto aim, but if you get close, it kind of locks on. I tried with it off, and it's just like the aiming's so imprecise, and it just feels so, like I said, you can't adjust anything. But the dialogue there's some funny stuff, but it's pretty generic. I think the three of us could write some better dialogue in a game. It's not fantastic. I mean, it looks nice, and every time I play it, I'm like, man, like I said way back when I first saw it, like, to be Nintendo with this kind of graphical power, I could just see Mario looking just amazing. But hopefully they don't go for the 30 frames per second and then the next Mario game, because it does feel slow. It's just like a lot of Sony exclusives. Everything feels slow. Uncharted, even Gravity Rush, which runs at 60 frames per second, it's still kind of a slow moving character, and it's just
I didn't realize it was 30 frames. Oh, that puts
I found that out.
That puts a damper on wanting to get it.
Well, they had to put every graphical thing on high, just to try to. That game came out this year, but it's still reaction to, I think, the launch, where people like, I don't see a difference. We don't see a difference in games here, and it looks great.
I feel like the other ones were 60. I got to look that up.
I think
they were. I think this is the only 30 frames one.
Yeah, they were, right?
The handheld problem.
Maybe. I know the PSP one isn't. I have it, so. But yeah. Damn.
I mean, it's definitely worth. I would say it's worth $20, no more. Like, I'm so glad I didn't pay a penny more than $19.99. So people like it though. I mean, it's not terrible, but it feels like it's like a Lego game to me. Like, it's very simplistic. I mean, you die, and it's not because these enemies are super smart, or it's just, there's really not a good way to dodge enemy fire and stuff. It's just, it just feels like I said, a little shallow and a little bit like a Lego game. You know, where you're constantly breaking boxes to gather stuff so you can buy new weapons. It's an average game, I would say. It'd probably be like a 6.5 out of 10, 7 maybe at best. So I also played Shantae because I didn't wait for the physical because I didn't want to wait till the end of this week. So I bought it last on the 20th. I got it digital on the Wii U, and I can say like it's a really good game, and I mean it looks amazing. It's like I'd never want a game like that to look any different. Like I don't want Shantae to look any different from that from now on. It looks so good.
It is gorgeous.
The controls are just as precise and tight as any platformer I've played on the Wii U. Like they're so precise. You never die because you miss a jump. Like I don't know. There's not really like any momentum. As soon as you let off the stick, I mean, she stops immediately. And it's like the controls are so good. But I think one of the costs, and Terrell's talked about it, you know, there's the whole game doesn't feel like it's there.
Yeah.
But even if you played like as a different character, like even the Shantae part, there's no dungeons anymore, which Terrell covered in his review. You know, that the dungeons like pretty much doubled the length of the last two games because some of those were pretty big. So you don't have those anymore. The boss fights are a cakewalk. I mean, they're pretty
Yeah.
much, it's a joke. Like I think I died once in the whole game. I beat it in under 7 hours. And, you know, I'm kind of a Shantae, I wouldn't say expert, but I know the formula. Yeah, I know the formula now. Pirate's Curse was slightly different, doesn't have the transformations, but I kind of get how the game works. And then Risky's Revenge was actually way harder. And like Terrell said, again, the transformations, there's a couple that are just absolutely worthless. Like there's another transformation comes out, and then you never have to use like the spider ever.
Yeah, that's what pisses me off. It's like, oh, the spider was in the first game, and I liked it because in the first game she could like climb up the background walls and shit. But the problem is in this game, it's like you can use it to climb on ceilings, but then you get the harpy, and it's like, well, the fuck do I need the spider for?
Once you get the harpy, you just fly through the.
Well, actually, yeah, the bat becomes worthless too. On that note,
yeah. It's kind of like Cranky Kong and Donkey Kong Country. It's like, do you?
Yeah, they made one level
really,
where he's relevant.
Yeah, they'll give you just like one level where he's relevant, but other than that, it's like I don't really need him. I'd rather have Dixie.
It was like Dixie was like that's the only one you used 90% of the time.
I felt like I leveled up all my stuff way quicker. Like getting gems was way quicker. I had like maxed out the whipping speed and power of her attack like real quick. It felt like within 2 hours, I felt like I had those maxed out. I do like you can toggle off stuff like you buy the that reduces health in half, whatever, the bikini or whatever.
Yeah, the magic armor, the magic bikini armor.
Turn that off in my second playthrough. I bought it again just like out of habit. I'm gonna turn it off, but I would say it's still a great game. I'm glad I only paid $20 and for the digital. But and someone says this podcast is always negative. I'm just, you know, giving my thoughts on a game.
It's always negative.
Overall, the game's like an 8, maybe.
So you like negativity then? You keep coming back, huh?
I guess you didn't learn the lesson.
I'm giving the pros and cons for the game. Like the music's awesome. It drowns out some of the sound effects. I wish there was a mixer.
I honestly think that's a bug with the Wii U, because if you notice, if you save, you know, save screens you get to,
yeah,
how the music will just randomly start playing in the middle of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's like a few of the hiccups. And Way Forward already said, like, once they get done with the Christmas break, they're gonna go and do some bug fixes. I think that's a bug in the game, though.
I don't know. I just wish I could toggle the music down a little bit. It's just it overpowers like the sound effects. It's like playing with like, you know, like listening to your own soundtrack at super loud. You can't even hear the game. So those are really just the only issues I have. Other than that, it's a great game. Just a little short, and there's, you know, some more stuff coming. We'll see what the Risky and the Roddy Tops silhouette characters are. If that's a whole new game, or is that going to be? It'd be cool if it was like Shovel Knight's Plague of Shadows, where you kind of play the same levels, but because you're using a different character, it feels completely different.
Well, I have a sneaking suspicion that's what it is, because I'm pretty sure you know how Shantae played at the end of Pirate's Curse when she maxed out all of her pirate gear. I'm pretty sure that's how Roddy Tops is gonna play. I mean, not Roddy Tops. Risky Boots is gonna play, because if you notice in the final boss fight against her, she's using all those abilities.
I noticed that.
So I think that's what her playthrough will be.
And that'd be cool. And maybe, I mean, hopefully they can kind of reconfigure some of the levels so it's not just completely broken, where you can just, you know, get through the level real easy. Or I mean, obviously there won't be transformations for those characters, so we'll see what they do. I'm glad that they released it. I think if they would have probably had everything in place, we wouldn't seen this game till the middle of next year. So
yeah,
I think this was the right decision, and I'm looking forward to hearing Rob Rule 2's thoughts his first Shantae game. I will say it's not, to me, it's a step down gameplay wise from Pirate's Curse, and you know, it's definitely way easier than Risky's Revenge. So if he likes it, I would tell him to try Pirate's Curse for sure.
Yeah.
So you guys are fans of Shantae, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously
Actually, it was because of this Kickstarter I went back and played the entire series.
Right. So it's not like any quote unquote negative that you point out is from a bad place. It's from a place of a fan that is you know, that's known the series from the beginning, basically, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like Risky's Revenge to me is like probably a good, at least a 9 out of 10, you know, without really thinking too hard about it. It's a great game, and it's one of the best indie games I've ever played. And this one had high expectations, and it's not a perfect game, but it's still a great game.
I just want to say, because I feel like because the negative comment bothers me. Like, I feel like if you hear, I think negativity, like if you hear negativity is because you're not used to hearing real. We live in the era of fake news, fake excitement from a lot of people. And so if you're not blowing smoke up people's asses, they think that's negative.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're trying to give you a all around, you know, real review of something, and it's coming from a good place. It's not just to be negative.
Maybe the Ratchet and Clank, I was a little harsh on, just because to me, like, it's just an average game, and I expected way more from what I had heard about the game, but still said it's worth $20. I mean,
well, again, like I'm a Ratchet and Clank fan. I think I missed maybe one game on PS3, so I have high expectations. So if I go in and those expectations aren't met, I'm already down because of 30 frames. Like, I'm used to 60. So, you know, if me being honest is being negative, well, I'm sorry for you. Like, I don't know.
Somebody said, I posted on Twitter just that, you know, it's a pretty average game, and someone said what the best one was. Let me see if I can jump to that real quick.
The best one most people are going to say is Pirate's Curse.
I mean, I'm talking about Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank, my bad.
Mine is probably up your arsenal. I don't know.
Kraken Time is this one. Is Murad or Moroso, whatever, however he pronounces that. He said that he thought Kraken Time was the best.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't remember what system that one was on. That was PS3 or 2.
PS3.
Yeah, that sounds like PS3.
All right, so yeah, but I'm looking forward to more content for Shantae. I don't know. Hopefully, it won't be expensive if you have to pay for it. It'd be nice if it's a Shovel Knight situation where, you know, they just basically add all the stuff on top and you don't pay any extra. And I'm about 70-80% through Plague of Shadows. It's pretty damn good.
Mister, I don't like Shovel Knight that much.
The Shovel Knight Salt Fest over here.
Plague Knight is he's pretty awesome. I love his double jump, his charge boost jump, and it just feels like how I wanted Shovel Knight to control. Like, it's so good. So that, you know, I don't know when that came out, but that would be a contention for top 5 if it came out in 2016 for me.
This is your game of the year, even though it's DLC.
Yeah, DLC. It wouldn't be the game of the year, but it's pretty damn good. I was surprised. I just wanted a game to play off TV before Shantae came out, and I was like, I'll try that. And it's really good. It's way better than the original Shovel Knight for me, like playing as that character. So
I just want to give a forewarning to our listeners. I'm currently dealing with a lingering toothache, so I had to pull myself some rum and Sprite. So if the voice starts slurring a little bit by words, then you know why.
It's like this is the first time he's been tipsy on the podcast, and that is not the case. So it's not like this is anything new, T.
But it may get more interesting as we go on. That's the difference, I think.
Oh, let's go then. It's
Why don't you get some
time.
damn gel numbing stuff you put on?
I don't like that. 'Cause
No, man.
It tastes horrible and it doesn't last because your saliva in your mouth moves it. It's gone.
It's true.
I appreciate the alcohol. Shit.
All
Yeah,
right. So let's get into this 2016 in review, basically based on Juice's Loose podcast topics. So we're going to start with the first official podcast of the year was the number 74, and it was What Will 2016 Bring, which doesn't tell us a whole lot. So I'm going to read the description and we'll see if we can find out what we talked about. I mean, some of these we might just blow right by. We're still giving our weekly X progress update for Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Some of us still are.
We weren't gonna bring it up to you. You just incriminating yourself.
I got so close, man.
No, you didn't.
I did, and then I died. I just.
You were at the boss, and then you
I was at the boss. I'm at the boss still, and he knocked me out my mech, and then I had a little teeny piece of his energy left, and he handled me, and I was like, I had to get to 55, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. I went back and got near 60. I said, "Fuck this! I ain't doing this again."
I'm at 53 right now, so. But yeah, sorry, cut you off. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna read off some of these. I haven't looked at any of these ahead of time, and whether we have anything to say, like the next podcast was X is still that sex. We're still talking about Xenoblade Chronicles X. We were in the third week in January, so obviously that came late 2015, and we had we talked about that for quite a while.
Well, I think
it. Oh, go ahead, sir.
I was gonna say, I think the coolest thing about that whole the X saga is what I'm gonna call it, is I've never seen you geek out over an RPG before, Juice. That's why it was crazy to me. I think you were the furthest. I think you were the first one out of us who beat the game, and I was like, I thought you don't play RPGs. What kind of shit is this? This man got so absorbed into the world and the damn. He just loved everything about that game.
Yeah, battle system and everything.
Yeah. Well, then again, that's probably one of the best uses of a gamepad anyway.
For sure.
Except I have to look down. Look down on the TV.
Yeah, look up and down.
It's so easy just to have it sitting there next to you. So the next podcast was Twilight Princess HD, Amiibos, and Rumor Overload. I'm wondering, that was in January 25th, so I wonder what the Twilight Princess HD was. Maybe did they just show a trailer, or was it finally revealed?
I thought it was that, like, people said it didn't look as good as like Wind Waker did or some shit.
And I think they might have showed we might have seen some of the, like, the
we probably saw like the Wolf Link Amiibo. Yeah, wasn't there a January Direct?
There's always controversy when it's Nintendo.
And then
that's what happens.
Yeah,
because Amiibos, and then discussing how jumping the gun on rumors and leaks can often lead to a serious case of butthurtness. So there must have been something. Somebody jumped the gun on a rumor, and then somebody got butthurt about it. So
you can apply that to every week of the year.
I'm about to say, that's what kills me, is that was prevalent even in early 2016.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
I thought that was something like recent, within like the last 6 months. It didn't feel like
it didn't feel like it was something
all year.
It started a long time ago, apparently.
Jesus. Man.
All right, so the next one was very exciting. Corrin and Bayonetta Inbound.
Oh, this bullshit.
So that was number
my salty cast.
Number 77. Obviously, we found out about Corrin and Bayonetta coming to Smash Brothers.
I'm still mad about that video I didn't make. God damn it.
And,
I'm still mad about that fucking live reaction we did, and I was like,
it was so good. That was so good.
That was some shit. That was some shit. Also, I just realized that they came out this year. It didn't feel like we were still playing Smash that heavily this year, though.
Mm,
God,
Smash is probably my second most played game this year.
true
oh
that.
my
I
God.
didn't look at the times yet, but next week I'm going to kind of add up all my play times for games and see.
Yeah, Smash is my second, and Xenoblade is easily my first.
Yeah, I think Xenoblade's first for me as well.
With the new games that we had came out this year still. Yeah.
So yeah, that was an exciting time. I just remember how Robert was just going nuts, and it was just a great announcement, and I was so happy. And I wish Bayonetta was a little bit better for me. Like, I just still struggle with her.
Yes.
And
She's not,
Where'd my fucking jump go? Every time we play, we have one of those moments where you lose a jump. You're like, what the fuck? I just lost the platform.
What happened to recovery in this motherfucker?
Yo.
So the Bayonetta came out like right after. We didn't have to wait long, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bayonetta was
close.
like, I think, what was it?
Because I did a
that night?
Bayonetta versus Rob like upload like right after.
Yeah.
It was probably that day then.
Mm-hmm. I think it was that day.
Yeah, it was. That's why the eShop was fucking slammed and you couldn't get
Yeah.
and you couldn't get to it.
This shit crashed.
Every time they release a character, it was stupid.
Nobody cares about Nintendo. That shit crashes every time.
Yeah, because
we count that on the competitive Smash community. That's what that is.
the announcement came out, and then the next podcast we were giving our impressions of Corn and Bayonetta. So
Yeah.
Corn and OP like a motherfucker.
yeah, it's like when I want to win, I'm Cloud or Corn usually. Like when I really feel like I want to win, Zelda would probably be my third. Like for just feeling like I have the best chance to win, and I don't know what it is. Cloud he seems like I don't lose a lot when I'm him, and
Yeah, it's because Cloud's one of the best characters in the game.
so we also discussed Mr. T's latest video about Metroid in that podcast.
Oh, the Detroit? Is that the one where
I didn't link your video, of course, because
I know
Yeah,
because
'cause
you can't be trusted.
That's messed up right there.
What kind of shit is that?
Let's talk about a video we don't link in this motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't think
I'm
about.
pretty sure it was that one though. It was the one where I think the thumbnail was like Dead Troid, you know, a little play on words. What Nintendo could do to make it more mainstream, something like that.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
We talked about gamers or whether or not gamers are too shallow in that podcast. So
Yeah.
must be have something to do with graphics or.
Yeah, well, obviously because I feel like, and I think most of us feel like, there are things in Metroid that most gamers just won't want to get accustomed to, like the backtracking and all that stuff. And that stuff you basically would have to take out. You have to turn Metroid into Halo for these guys to be like,
I want to hear that shit.
and none of us wanted that to happen. So
Yeah, I don't think about a year later someone watching that video.
yeah,
I should go back and do links every once in a while. I remember, but I'm just
I don't care, man.
I don't like to put a lot of like we do this for free, no ads, no. I watched a podcast Mr. T was on, and there's like 6-7 ads throughout.
Was there?
Yeah.
Jesus.
It just I don't want to be like that. So this is what you get.
Did it stop? Like those kind of stop you? And then
it stops. It's
those
like
are the worst.
You can see on
I
the
didn't know he
banners.
put that shit on his
you
ass,
can see on the
man.
progress bar. There's like 6 yellow dots throughout.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's horrible.
God.
Yeah, because that's manual. You go in and do that. You don't. That's not.
really,
Hey,
I thought they
man,
did it
That's
based
not
on
a normal-
time.
Oh yeah.
No, about to say because mine's don't do
No,
that.
No, that's a manual thing. You go in and put those ads in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you gotta actively pick those out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't throw them under the bus. Real Gamer 27. That was a good podcast with Mr. T on Real.
I think
Talk,
that's the reason why it was a good podcast.
Oh, you talking about that podcast?
Yeah, and I'm
That's
just
the only
like
one that's fine.
the ads. That's the kind of stuff that makes me not want to watch a podcast. I don't understand one at the beginning. That's fine, but a bunch of them littered throughout. So anyway, I try not to do that. Just so I don't.
You only
I
gonna
don't
make
feel
10 more cents, man. There's no
I need
point.
the change. Give me the change, T. I want my Diet Pepsi. Shit.
So
I think you make money on this. You don't make no damn money on this.
no.
Not at this level.
No.
The next week we talked about Fire Emblem Fates. So I don't know. This was February 15th. So had that come out yet?
Yeah, I guess.
Street Fighter 5, Quantum Break hit PC. Those were the topics. So Fire Emblem Fates, obviously, Terrell likes that game.
It was full geek mode. I was fucking gone. I remember that shit because I think that's one of the reasons why I finished X so quickly, because I knew as soon as I hit February I wasn't playing nothing else, and then I think in March is when Pokken Tournament, and like for you guys it was like Twilight Princess HD came out, so I was on that crack for that whole month.
Yes. I'm still not. I'm probably another year away from being ready to play another Fire Emblem.
I'm salty still because I didn't get my special edition, my pre-order. I'm still salty about that.
Yeah, I remember that shit. That was a whole saga in itself.
Oh man,
port all 3 to the Switch in one game for $40.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even think about that. That could be.
So I'll be over here in the back like, bitch, what?
And Terrell's gonna rebuy it.
I make no promises.
So Street Fighter 5, that must have been once they basically revealed that you're getting the stripped down version of the game. I remember that.
Actually, I think that's when it released. Yeah.
I don't think it came out in February, did it? I think
it came out pretty early.
Came out early. February, March, somewhere around there.
Yeah, it's one of those 2 months.
They kind of kept it pretty secret till right before the game came out.
I wonder why.
For good reason, apparently.
I mean, it looks like a solid game. And I think it's down to $30 or something.
It's 20 on Steam.
Yeah, so
it's a shame.
But that's just the first part. You're not getting the season 2 characters and shit. Because fuck you, Capcom.
I don't like that season stuff.
No, I don't either.
I'd buy Killer. I probably would have bought Killer Instinct. I just don't like how I know in a year there's going to be more new characters, more money needs to be spent, type of thing. So, Quantum Break hitting PC. That wasn't that big of news. That game was pretty lackluster on Xbox, but that was one of the first big exclusives to kind of switch over to PC from Xbox One. I remember that was the beginning of that. E3 later on that year, it was pretty much. We found out their plan for how they're going to handle that, but that one,
such a Don Matrick game.
Yeah,
it was still when they believed in like TV and being the entertainment box for the household, when they still believed that, and it had that whole video game and TV show kind of put together kind of deal. They did that with Halo as well.
And that was before they had
Master Chief Collection.
That was before they had Sean Ashmore involved. That was back.
Yeah, because it was just some generic dude before that. And then, it's very disappointing that game. So,
I mean, it came and went like
nobody cared.
It was forgotten. So, the next podcast was News Thirsty Gamers. This must have been NX rumor type stuff. Terrell gave us impressions of Fire Emblem, so that had come out. And it was just basically like how any bit of news. What's that noise?
Like garbage disposal?
What?
Someone turned on a fan?
Not to my knowledge.
But remember when it was around the time where any little bit of news was just like, it had to be confirmed, no sources, and people just pounced on it, which is still kind of happening today. But that was like, I felt like it hit whatever.
Dude, that happens not only in video games, it just happens in just regular news, period. Because look at the president we got. And people don't care. It's just news. They don't
trying to make people sad as shit from that. Don't even bring that up. Just fucked everybody's day up. How could you?
I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm just saying, news in general is just a joke. It's pathetic, and can you blame the news people, or do you blame the people who just like go read and click on all that stuff and believe it? Like
both.
It's everybody's responsibility.
Yeah. Did you see Denzel's take on?
Oh, I saw. It was perfect.
That dude, man. I liked him since the first movie I seen him in. That he's a classy dude, man. Smart. He doesn't care. Like he said it. He's kind of calling out reporters to a
Mhm.
interviewer, but he's still being kind of polite, and it was just like he hit it right on the
It was
head.
perfect. His thing was perfect.
So it's like you guys have a responsibility. Like it's as a
Yeah,
reporter.
everybody wants to be first instead of be truthful
Mhm.
and be right.
Exactly.
Basically, and it was so true.
And the next week we did a Sunday special to get that was Rob at the time couldn't be on the podcast, so I did one on Sunday, and we basically talked about the same thing. Rumor reporting has infected the community, and then we were deciding if Nintendo should let the rumor hype keep building or just reveal the system, the NX. And so that was kind of people January 1st were expecting NX news, and it had been almost 2 months.
Yeah. People wanted Nintendo to be Sega reactionary
Mhm.
instead of just doing. Who cares? Like they can't react to everything that happens. Are you kidding? They'd be reacting 20 times a day.
I know.
It doesn't make any sense.
So let's just do we think now, knowing in retrospect, I think Nintendo did it right, because if they would have announced the Switch back then, in any Wii U information, the rest of the year would have been just who cares.
Yeah.
Like it would have killed Twilight Princess, Pokken Tournament, all those games would have suffered. And I think they did the right thing. It was hard to wait. It sucked waiting. But I mean, looking back at it now, I don't remember exactly what we said, and that'd be a good podcast to go back and listen to. I might do that.
That didn't help. It didn't help Paper Mario, and it didn't help.
No.
It didn't
No.
help
Too late.
the great Tokyo Mirage Sessions. It didn't help that game. My
We don't
game
even
of the
talk
year.
about- I was like, we don't even talk about that.
But and then finding out what they had their plans for Zelda were, it's like, yeah, you don't announce the Switch and then show the Wii U version of Zelda like a few months later, So I think they made the right decision.
Yep.
Everything's looking up. And then the next one we had that Twilight Princess HD came out, and then there was a Nintendo Direct. I forget which. It's March 6th.
The last one we had.
I'm wondering because Twilight Princess came out in early March, didn't it? Or
Came out in March.
Was it
Yeah.
middle?
Yeah, it came out in March.
might have been middle March. So yeah, there was a Nintendo Direct. They showed the game. I think that was the last trailer for it before it came out. And yeah, without knowing what that Direct was for sure, I can't remember. So then we had Pokken Tournament came out, so we had impressions. NX controller leak. That must have been the Hey Arnold.
The Hey Arnold one, yeah.
Yeah, they have no controller.
Rob's
Christ.
favorite thing in the world.
Yeah, it really got him going.
I don't know if he's still listening, but he loved that controller.
I don't know why. That thing looks so uncomfortable.
I know, it's so stupid. Got him worked up. Like I've never heard him worked up before. So, but yeah, Pokken Tournament came out. We had some impressions of that. So had some pretty good sales.
We learned about 3D printing, by the way.
Yeah.
We learned a lot about 3D printing.
Yeah, I mean, just think if that was the actual controller. It just looked like such an uncomfortable piece of shit.
It just looked uncomfortable as hell. That's my main problem with it.
I mean, the Joy-Cons look so much better.
Yeah.
In the grip. Joy-Con boys.
Oh god.
Joy-Con game.
Did you see Nintendo Ultra and the shark suit on the player?
Oh my god, I was
That was
dying.
so funny.
That's what this community needs more of.
I know.
Dying.
That was funny. The next week we must have been the confirmed fake after it was confirmed fake, and then we talked about Batman versus Superman. So that was more of a movie podcast. So I mean, I
I wasn't even in that one. Shit.
I don't think so. I don't think you were. I'm hearing.
I'm still thinking about Nintendo Ultra and that shirt too.
Where did he get it? Why did he have that?
It was from Halloween, and he planned that shit.
That was greatness. Oh man.
But yeah, so Batman versus Superman, like to me, still bugs me how people have reacted to that movie. I listened to Jeremy John's top 10 list, and he puts a Captain America Civil War at number 2 and talks about the airport scene being so good. And I'm like, God, to me, like the Doomsday sequence with Wonder
Way
Woman,
better.
man, to me, that was just blew it
Way
away.
more epic. Come on.
Next podcast was Mitomo, Final Fantasy 15, which I don't know what that could have been. News for Final Fantasy 15. Maybe that was a delay.
Maybe no. What the hell would that have been? I don't even fucking know.
Oh, it was a demo.
Oh, that right, because the demo's frame rate was
I played
ass.
that demo. God, is it so lame?
Demo for what?
Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, okay.
Where you were like a miniature kid in like this house, and then you had this boss fight that was just.
And what made it worse, the frame rate was dropping all over the place.
Oh,
and
God.
shit.
It was.
Drop it like
I played that a couple weeks ago, and God, it's.
Oh, did you?
It's not indicative of the actual game, except for the last boss fight is kind of how the mechanics work. But God, it sucked.
I'm a purist, man. I can't get over what they did to the battle system.
I feel like the final game's way better than that demo, but
yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about the game.
Yeah,
except for the car. Fuck the car.
Apparently. I don't give a shit. Bring me back my turn-based battles.
Oh no, that's why the game is yet to be a system seller for me. Shit.
Yeah, and then we also Mitomo came out. We gave our impressions where it was addictive.
That was this year.
Yeah, you remember it was addictive as hell the first couple days, but man, that shit dropped off quick.
We had like 3 Nintendo IPs on cell phones this year. That's insane.
Yeah, look for 2 to 3 more this year or 2017.
Jesus,
we already know what 2 of them are going to be. So
yeah.
Oh, the next podcast was let's see, it was April 11th. We found out Star Fox had some frame rate issues and somebody did a frame rate analysis. It wasn't terrible, like it wasn't horrible, but we just discussed that. And then the female Link rumor, that was the Emily Rogers thing, I think, a possibility of a female Link, and what Nintendo should do for E3. So back in April, we were kind of I believe that was Emily Rogers, and she kind of
there's a dude on YouTube, I love Star Fox Zero. There's some shortcomings. I still love the game, but there's this guy on YouTube. I can't remember. I don't know if it's because he calls himself the completionist.
Oh, Gerard.
Okay, yeah. I don't know if that's his YouTube name though. I think
YouTube name is completionist.
He's been on Nintendo Minute and stuff.
Okay. He went through he shows you how to play Star Fox Zero. And if you haven't done it that way, then you haven't gotten everything you're supposed to get out of Star Fox games. And he plays the Star Fox game the way you're supposed to play it. And it's really good, in depth. Go check it out. The Completionist.
I don't know if I watched that, but for me, once in all range mode, I just used the I couldn't put the cockpit on my TV because it's too, having that big screen, it was too disorienting. I would just look down on the screen for the cockpit view, glance up at the TV to see where I was in the environment. Once I started doing that and instead of just looking at my TV in, that weird locked camera in the all range mode, like I struggled. And then once I started kind of using the cockpit view, I got 62 out of 70 gold medals on that game. So I felt I got pretty good at it.
Nice. Yeah, he gives it like a thorough 30-minute, maybe 30+ minute review, like Angry Joe, but not that bullshit that Angry Joe does. It's like a real thorough.
That's because Angry Joe likes to throw in like 16 skits and it's all about, look at the fucking controls, man. It's so bad.
Yeah.
And it's like, to me, it's pretty high on my list for this year. I didn't play a ton of games that came out in 2016, but it's gonna be ahead of some PS4 games, I'll tell you that.
You mean every PS4 game?
I'm still working out. But so
PS4 games this year?
Oh,
no, remaster.
In the last 2 months, that's where all their games came out.
But obviously, it destroys Wii U as far as multiplats. But how does the Wii U have more exclusives than you do? Like, that doesn't compute for me. Like, I don't.
Yeah, but now that I think about it, they only had like what, 2?
Well, if you look at the exclusive, one was Gravity Rush Remaster, which can you even say that's an exclusive? It's a Vita game.
It is exclusive.
Ratchet and Clank, which is like a re-envisioning remake.
Uncharted 4, and The Last Guardian.
That's
Last Guardian.
Because Final Fantasy is multiplat.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you too, Xbox One.
Well, hey man, who buys Xbox One for exclusives?
I did like an idiot.
I bought my PS4 for exclusives, and
So that makes a little bit more sense, though, Juice.
I made fun of somebody for saying that about a year ago, but it makes a little more sense now, especially with January and February. There's a few. I did play the Nier. I don't know how you say that. Automata.
Automata.
I'll give my thoughts on that maybe another time. It feels like a boring version of Bayonetta, like a stripped down, boring.
I saw like no enemies to fight. That was like my biggest aggravation.
It's just this dumb little cricket robot, cricket mobile looking robots. Looks like the Cricket Mobile icon, the little green robot guy.
Yeah.
And you just fight those over and over.
Version of Bayonetta, play that early game on PS3 with like a redhead chick.
Heavenly Sword.
Yeah, Heavenly Sword. You want a boring version of Bayonetta? There you go.
All right.
And the frame rate on that game. Oh, it's awful. It is awful.
They tried to make that a long-standing IP because they did like a lot of marketing.
They did a direct-to-DVD movie about it.
Yeah, they did.
They spent some money on that thing, except for in the frame rate department. Ooh. That frame rate is atrocious.
All right, so let's push on here. We got the next podcast was PS4's identity, Star Fox hype, and much more. So let's see what we discussed games like Pokken, Quantum Break, Dark Souls 3. I don't know. Maybe.
I forgot that came out.
Ratchet and Clank. Before we delved into PS4's lack of identity. Then we talked about our hype levels for Star Fox before it came out, and then we predicted review scores for the known sites that usually shit on Nintendo. So that was a pretty fun one. I remember that. And the PS4's identity is really multi-plats.
At this point,
that's its identity.
At this point, it's that maybe like Uncharted.
And
that
pretty
could
soon
change next year, but
maybe.
I don't like seeing the Horizon Zero Dawn commercial and play it on PS4 Pro. I have a feeling, like we talked about a couple weeks ago or last week, that game's only going to run decently on the Pro, and it's going to suck on the Slim.
We might get a Juice rant next year, folks. Look forward to it.
And there's all the footage they show looks so clean and sharp, but then if you look at before the Pro was announced, look at Horizon, it's a lot blurrier. So I don't care if it looks worse, as long as it doesn't just play so sluggish. Because, I mean,
you might get a PS4 reboxing. And shipping that shit off to my little brother.
I'm definitely gonna.
I feel like you're looking for a reason, T. You wait for an excuse. It's like Sony, give me a fucking reason. I'm not
gonna trade it in because I hate them whores.
I wouldn't. I would definitely. I think I could get close to 200 for it on like Craigslist or eBay. Because by then the Slim's gonna be probably back up to 300 or 250, no matter.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
We'll see.
But yeah, the PS4's lack of identity. I think that was a pretty good discussion, and then we gave our impressions. I know Robert loved Ratchet and Clank. Rob loved Dark Souls 3, and I don't know if did anybody play Quantum Break? I don't know. I thought
T did.
Nope.
Yeah. Oh no, I think Robert did. Maybe Robert did.
Maybe.
Because he was the one complaining about it.
I got a little annoyed once I heard it was coming for Windows 10. So
which is why I said there's no reason on an Xbox One.
right. That's when I started getting like, what's going on here? What's up with this?
Then we gave
$50 for this shit.
The following week, Star Fox came out. We gave our impressions, and I still think it's the best Star Fox game for me. Maybe just because other than the original, it felt like it actually.
See, it's hard to get past nostalgia. Like, I feel like if this was like the first Star Fox, it would get more love. But I think because it relies so much on 64, and it does, that it can't. It's hard to like give it its own score, like its own shine. For me.
Mm-hmm.
It was the only Star Fox game I ever played, so I can't really compare it.
Yeah, so there you go. You're good to go then.
I played the 64 right before it came out, and I was like, yeah, I mean, it controls good, but just the overall game to me, I didn't.
Yeah. But I also love it for that. Like, it's hard because I also love it for the fact that it reminds me of Star Fox 64. So it's kind of a weird situation.
Yeah, and I don't hold 64 in the same regard as you, so
Yeah.
I didn't mind. Like, I don't mind that it's similar in the story and stuff, and some of the levels. I mean, it's completely different. Every level is completely different. I mean, it has just similar settings, I guess.
It's just the same name and,
Mm-hmm.
similar buildings and architecture, stuff like that. But
It's not like they just.
Other than that, it's completely different.
Oh shit!
So the next podcast was dissecting the NX and Zelda news. So that's when they announced that the NX was coming out in March and Zelda was going to be all that was going to be at E3. So that was a big moment. I think this year. I think that's probably one of the top. That the Switch announcement and Breath of the Wild seeing it at E3. I think them announcing their E3 plans and that the NX was pushed in March, I think was probably the top 3 biggest news stories for Nintendo.
Yeah,
there was also a lot of crying. People were excited.
There was a lot.
To get Breath of the Wild. Was like, that's all they got. And then Breath of the Wild obviously owned E3. So,
and I made a question. Or I did a two-part rant where I was like, "This is Zelda. It's gonna be at E3 and it's going to dominate. Doesn't matter when they show the NX because that's gonna be huge. They could show it whenever they want, and it's gonna be just as huge as if it was at E3." And so that was kind of my reaction. Did they announce the new Amiibo? Because that was in the next. We were talking about Zelda, E3, and Amiibo.
Oh, was that the Mario Party ones, maybe?
No, I feel like
Super
that.
Mario.
Or was it the No, wait, it was the Squid Sisters, wasn't it?
Could be.
Yeah.
I can't think. What the
Yep,
fuck
it was Splatoon.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought it was the Squid Sisters.
I still don't have.
I have them.
They were in the store for a long time, and I was like, oh, they're just readily available. And now the last 10 times I've been there and through that section, they're not there anymore. And there's a part of me that's like, man. But then I found my receipt for the original triple pack with tax. I paid $38 after tax at Toys R Us.
My god!
And I'm like, why did I do that? I paid $100 for Splatoon, basically.
Yes, all the DLC was free unofficially.
But yeah, I mean, I did like the challenge modes. Sucked that you had to have the amiibo, but in retrospect, I will say, even though the Squid, some of the best amiibos as far as the way they look, I wish I had that $40 back.
Well, I think a lot of people probably agree with you at this point, but it's like when I walked in the Best Buy today, I fucking saw like almost all the Fire Emblem amiibos except for Ike are in there, and I'm just like
Lucina, Robin.
I got like 2 Lucinas in this house. I fucking spent like probably $40-something in total on that, and I'm like, man.
Yeah, I paid $20 for Lucina.
Yeah, I remember because I got it before you, and you were sitting there asking me, "Hey man,
I got it from Japan.
You want to sell me?" Hey man, fuck you, T. That's my response to you.
Damn.
I'm looking at my amiibos behind me. I'm like, God, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth all that.
I don't want to count. You know what makes me mad? They got the Famicom colored Rob in there, and I'm like, man, I still kind of want that shit.
I know. It's one of those things where you want it, and then you bring it home, and it's like, okay, set it here and never look at it again.
My wife asked me today, because she was looking at them because they're like all on the wall and stuff, tacked to the wall, and she's like, how much money you spend on these? And I didn't want to say because I knew. $600+ on them motherfuckers.
Mine was actually probably pretty close to that.
Yeah, because I have like 25 of them, so
I got more than that. I got like 30.
I'm definitely close to 400.
I believe at some point it'll go back up, maybe in 10 years or something like that.
Yeah, but I don't want to fuck it. I don't want to talk about it right now. That's my point.
So we talked about Zelda before E3. This was in May, and I'm guarantee you we were pretty excited, unlike some people. And it turned out that Nintendo made the right call. That with their E3 plans. And let's see what else. What was the next thing?
I want to see and know everything about the Switch right now.
Yeah, you owe me, Nintendo. I bought the Wii U games I didn't even want. You owe me.
Could you imagine?
Why do people do that? That was such a stupid thing for some of those people to say. I bought the Nintendo games to support you. What?
What are they on welfare? Is Nintendo on welfare? I had no idea.
I'm about to say, just buy the games you want to play.
That's it.
I know.
That makes sense to me.
And the next week, we got Rob's Uncharted 4. Oh, no, it wasn't his impressions. We discussed the reviews. This was a little bit of a salty topic. Rob, he's an Uncharted fanboy, and we were discussing the reviews, and I remember I was saying, "Oh, here comes the Uncharted dick riding." So we had a podcast about it, just discussing how certain franchises are almost guaranteed great reviews, including Nintendo franchise Mario, some Mario games. Zelda's usually guaranteed. Even sometimes they might not deserve as high of a score. They're guaranteed to get it. Yeah, I mean, Twilight Princess to me was never amazing, but I think for the time, I think it was pretty good. And
I think Twilight Princess is because we got this cartoony ass Link. We didn't want him. We wanted that Space World demo.
Yeah,
and so they finally got that, and then it was like, oh, that's the greatest thing ever. So,
which is worse because now most people say Wind Waker is better.
Yeah, Twilight Princess is I hate to say it, my least favorite 3D Zelda, but
that seems to be the general consensus.
But it's still a really good game. It's not like it's a bad game because of that.
No,
it's just that the other ones are so much better to me.
I think it just lacked a soul, I think. I mean, it's not the mechanics and everything, especially the HD version. They improved some stuff, but
like Zant was like meh.
Yeah,
as a character, as a villain, but I love Midna.
Yeah, I mean the character, that part of it I love, but
right.
After playing Shadow of the Colossus, going to holding up to run with a horse again just felt so dated, and it's just the whole how the world was separated still by little loading screens and stuff.
That piss filter, the piss filter on the Wii and the GameCube.
Yeah,
we don't talk about that filter.
So next, the next podcast, we got Rob's Uncharted impressions, and then we did our bucket list for the NX, the Switch, which we still have 3 months to complete, which I think I'm in the lead for scratching things off my list. So that was a pretty fun podcast. We come up with things we wanted to do before the NX, now Switch, came out. So T and still got some things to do. I know.
We got some things to do. I'm gonna get there. I
still say I'm gonna be.
This is my week right here.
Wonderful 101's definitely I still got to finish that. I got about halfway, I think. And then the next podcast we discussed censorship. I think that was relating to Tokyo Mirage Sessions and some other games.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't have that conversation about Fire Emblem, period, considering what happened.
True.
So yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where Nintendo of America seems to be a little gun shy of certain things. Some I can understand. Like I said, I understand not having Lynn and a little freaking Playboy bunny. It's not quite a thong, but it's pretty close. And it's like I can understand that kind of censorship, but if it's a rated M,
Nintendo gets more attention for that stuff than everybody else.
Well, they do because they only do it to their own IPs, and then it happens more frequently on Nintendo systems.
Yeah,
and it's like more games.
I don't know about that. I don't even know if that's true.
Well, I
was watching something of another YouTube video where a guy just went through and he's talking about all these games that got censored, and maybe 3 out of the 20 he showed it was the Nintendo games.
Because it's that weird thing how certain games get censored in other countries. Yeah. I think is that Nintendo games get censored the most in the States. I think is what it is.
Yeah,
because I noticed that there's a lot of censoring going on in Japan. People don't want to fucking talk about, and that was like my whole argument that it's not like it only happens in the U.S. and it's only Nintendo. It happens in general all over the place. It's just Nintendo gets the most shit for it because they're the most. I don't even know if it's the most obvious.
To me, it's like look at Conker's Bad Fur Day. Like Nintendo on the N64 was like full on balls to the wall, didn't care about anything, and then Microsoft gets it and they censored the hell out of it.
Yeah, it was so bad.
That's weird. Like, why did that happen? Why is that a thing?
So let's give the Robert a chance to say hi and
Oh, was he here?
Yeah.
Yep.
What's up, man? Did you get any games for Christmas?
No, just a bunch of gift cards to technically buy games for Christmas.
Lucky bastard.
We're running down the we're about halfway through the year, just after E3. We were talking about the podcast where we discuss censorship with Tokyo Mirage Sessions and other games.
Oh wait! While we're still in the E3 realm, how about that Psychonauts 2, T?
Man,
yeah. I remember they announced this shit on stage.
I haven't heard nothing about that.
Exactly.
Yeah, actually, I haven't heard anything about that either.
No. Well,
Well, but we didn't hear. Did we really? Well, that's not true. I was about to say
there's a lot of indie games.
Yeah, hey, man, what about Shenmue 3? Shit.
They showed some screenshots of that recently.
Did they?
Yeah, they updated some screenshots or something.
Oh, I ain't know that.
But yeah, the next 3 podcasts were our predictions for Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, of course. And we did. Actually, no, I didn't do a Zelda or a Nintendo one before because it was just Zelda. So we didn't do a predictions one. We only did the impressions afterwards. So we did a predictions for Microsoft and Sony. Gave 2-hour podcast. Sony's was 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Wow.
We gave predictions. Don't remember what they were, and then the next podcast was the Legend of Zelda impressions. So that was after, obviously, the day that they showed it.
You know what kills me about E3 this year? That it's the year that Nintendo said, I'm just going to bring out Zelda. And then you look at Sony and Microsoft's. I think Microsoft is probably the best overall because all Sony's games were just fucking games that don't come out for like another year and a half or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think any of those games have come out yet. So, and just a real quick observation here. I'm looking at Mr. T's icon back for the first half of the year, and then from then on, Mr. T got a little darker there. Your skin toned about 10 shades darker.
Oh yeah! Oh my god! Yo, what the fuck?
For reals? YouTube, baby.
One get a tan, nigga.
One was the games at large. The old one had the games at large emblem. And
okay, maybe it was a different.
But yeah, you definitely got a little darker there.
Yeah, you did get darker.
Put on some blackface, did you?
Damn.
I thought black people don't get tans. What is this crap? Shit, I wish I could get a tan. Fuck.
And I mean, it's either Rob or Ms. T on the icon for the podcast because they're talking the most.
Yeah, they always get the most. It's funny.
So bastards. That's just how it goes. But yeah, we gave our Zelda impressions, which honestly, I felt like I was the most excited that day.
You were.
I watched the most footage, and I was just like, I know you guys were kind of a little bit, especially.
I tried to watch as much, but I think you definitely watched the most.
Yeah, you were. Like I said, at that point, I was kind of burned out on Zelda footage.
Burnt out. Yeah.
Well, I said I had my Pokemon footage to be hyped on, so I was. I
didn't even. I mean, Red Knight and I did like 3 or 4 podcasts where we just rewatched that footage and talked about it, and I still just was on cloud 9 the whole time. So
yeah,
I mean, that's hilarious. I see it now. The icon.
But so yeah, I mean, I guess it's 6 months later. Zelda was a big deal. Where would you put Breath of the Wild reveal and gameplay with the Switch as far as bigger news? What do you think was the bigger of the two for Nintendo?
Well, I would think the Switch, right?
It had the most single views, obviously. Yeah, I guess.
I
feel like
fresh
it would in the
be
mind,
Switch,
so I would say because the one video had 20 million, but I mean,
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild was a pretty big.
Oh, for sure.
I think because with Breath of the Wild, that initial trailer didn't garner the same amount of hype as the gameplay footage itself. Because like right after the 83 happened, if you went online and looked up Zelda, all you got were like fucking theory videos up and down YouTube for like months. So I don't think it was necessarily like Zelda Breath of the Wild's like reveal trailer as much as it was like, look at the footage, look at what you can do.
Yeah.
What does it relate to in the Zelda lore? I need another what's the name of that book they released?
Hyrule Astoria.
Yeah, there we go. We need another one of those coming to get out more information.
I think,
the timeline.
The trailer was definitely the bigger viewed thing, and I think that to me, like I can still watch that trailer and get goosebumps. But
yeah, it's great, that trailer.
Yeah, and then the next week we graded E3, and I believe a couple of you, if not everybody, other than me, thought Sony was probably the winner.
Yeah.
If I'm remembering, I liked the presentation. I just like Terrell just pointed out, none of their games had any kind of, other than Horizon, had any kind of release date in the near future. You know, so
I remember you were ticked specifically with that God of War one because the guy was like a dick about it. And then on top of that, we didn't even get a confirmed 2017 date.
No,
like,
it's not even. You know, and I don't love the franchise the way, you know, in its original form. So I'm not like a purist, so I don't mind that they changed it. But what they changed it to is just another slow walking, sluggish gameplay looking Sony game. And you know, if you're excited for it, that's great. If I was a God of War like purist, like Tia's, you know, Final Fantasy, I wouldn't be excited for God of War based on how much it changed. Like it doesn't even look like God of War.
No, people weren't. People weren't at all.
So
yeah. I remember more excited because I don't even care for God of War that much. So
this one might be better. I mean, it looks like it could be potentially a better game, but it does look like The Last of Us meets.
I'm about to say it doesn't look, to me, it doesn't look better. It just looks different. And I'm like, actually, ironically enough, I probably would prefer just revamp God of War of the older games, not this weird Last of Us.
But after playing Bayonetta and trying to play God of War, it's like you can't go
night
back.
And day.
Yeah,
night and day.
It's just like I said, another where the dodge mechanic's so terrible in that game. It reminds me of Uncharted 4 when you're dodging those exploding skeletons. And it's like you just get one little short roll and that's all you get to dodge. So
yeah, I wonder if Bayonetta ruined what's the I want to say Shinobi,
Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, I wonder if it ruined it for me. Now I haven't played it since I played Bayonetta 2 now, so I wonder.
Yeah, I mean, Ninja Gaiden on the Xbox was my favorite Xbox original game, and I wonder. I still have it, my system. I should plug it in and see how that game feels now. I know it was hard as hell. Just be curious because that was like taking that franchise into 3D for the first time, and they pulled a Nintendo and they made it successful. Took an old 2D game and made it in 3D, and it was amazing. So we'll see. I'd be curious to find out if it still played as good as I remember.
What's this? Double Dragon 4 in January?
Oh yeah, I heard something about that. That is it a remake or
no? It's a new game, Double Dragon 4.
Really?
Yeah, it's a teaser trailer. Popped up for PlayStation 4 and Steam.
Yeah, you like those beat 'em ups.
I remember. Do you remember the Sony E3? Me and Rob both gave it an A+.
Oh yeah. I mean, the presentation, it was an hour long. They just game. The orchestra was a nice touch, but to me, like none of the games were exciting. Especially like Days Gone, and then Resident Evil. Like I played the demo, and it's intriguing. It's another super slow moving game. Don't play Doom, and then go and play Resident Evil 7 because you feel like you can't even move. But none of the games got me excited. Spider-Man didn't have any kind of release date or any kind of gameplay footage, and
it's gonna be Spider-Man. It's not gonna be. I mean, like I like Spider-Man games, but
I like the one on the.
I just want a good one, damn it.
I remember the first like N64, PlayStation 1 had a couple really good
PlayStation 1 and N64 one was good. I like the Spider-Man on GameCube, Spider-Man 1 and 2 based on the movies and stuff. I thought those were good, but I mean, they're still Spider-Man games. It's like they're cool.
But overall, I think it was a pretty good E3. Microsoft announced the Scorpio, the Slim, and all their games moving forward were going to be on Xbox or Windows 10 as well. So that was kind of that confirmation. And I think some people decided they didn't need an Xbox One anymore because they had a PC, and I already knew that like years ago.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of common sense.
But yeah, so next week or the next podcast was Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Obviously, Terrell, I think, was the only one that played it at that point. Gave your impressions. And then the rumor, or we discussed the idea of Nintendo bringing back cartridges. So the rumor had been well before that, but I think we actually covered, why we'd be excited about it. I remember we predicted what size they'd be. I should re-listen to that to see what our guesses were. Like, would it be N64? Would it be DS? Would it be smaller? And it looks like it's going to be a little bit smaller.
I think most of us guessed it was like near SD card size or something.
Yeah. And I think it kind of looks like, a 3DS sort of style. So,
but we couldn't get that backwards compatibility, damn it.
No, we haven't got a good look at it, so it's hard to say for sure. But all right, the next podcast was underrated Wii U games, and
isn't that the whole library?
Oh yeah, that's one people. Yeah, I don't know what was the spark for that. I'm curious.
Maybe it was just a lack of news.
Could have been. And then we talked about the people were saying Zelda had a graphics downgrade.
Oh, that's
from the 2014 reveal, and I think we all kind of said that we didn't think that was very true. So that was the big news that week, and then I accidentally clicked off the page.
Let me see.
What's the next?
I had it up. Shit, where was it? What number were you on?
98, 99. Yeah, that was 98. Then 99 was the Pokemon Go release, which was, that was huge too.
Insane.
Yep. Nintendo's had some big news big things happen this year.
Which is funny because they actually ironically enough, people thought that contributed to Sun and Moon's success because people were like, oh yeah, Sun and Moon's like the highest selling Pokemon games of all time. It's like, I wonder why.
Well, did you see that Pokemon Go was the #1 type thing on Google basically? That's incredible.
As far as search things.
Yeah, as far as
I just got blown away because I was watching sports shows and these guys would start talking about Pokemon Go. What the hell? The hell is this?
Yeah.
It faded, like all fads do, but I think still people play it.
Literally yesterday, I was working, right? And some dude was in the theater playing Pokemon Go. So, people still play it.
It's faded out of the mainstream.
Of course.
But people are still playing that thing, man.
Yeah, I'm sure they still make a ton of money off of it.
I still haven't tried it.
Really?
Yeah.
Now you can try it.
Yeah, actually, I probably would try it now considering it's actually a lot better than it was when it launched.
But I bet you downloaded that bullshit ass Super Mario Run though.
I did. And that's
that just tells you where his priorities are at.
That's a superior game. It's actually a game. I didn't get the full version. I'm waiting for the Android, and then the next podcast was the 100th episode of The Juice is Loose. That was July 18th. And we had Red Knight, we had Mike, and the rest of the usual team. We did the top 20 Wii U games, and it was Smash #1. And I lost the list, so I'd have to re-listen to it. But I believe it was 3D World or Mario Kart was 2. I don't remember which one was 2. But yeah, that was a fun one. We had a good time.
Super fun. Yeah.
We played those. Remember, I did the games where I was having you guys I'd give you some trivia about the list, and yeah, that was some really fun podcasts. I remember that.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Let's see, what was the next one? 101 Sonic Ball Sonic.
What?
Blast Ball impressions and more. So that must have been. Was that the Sonic news?
Oh yeah, because they had their yeah, because Sonic's thing is around the summer.
August 1st.
He says Sonic Ball.
Yeah. There was a comma in there.
I was like, what the fuck? That must have been for Sonic Mania.
That was the announcement.
2017.
Yeah.
Then that's when the demo came out for Blast Ball. And
what?
Sonic Ball Blast.
It took me a minute. It took me to realize. I was like, oh, he's talking about Metroid. That's what's happening.
The funny thing is that's probably the most viewed podcast of the year, I think. Over
Really?
2,000 views.
The Ball Blast one?
Yeah, Sonic Ball Blast. I thought Sonic was dead.
You know what?
People love Sonic, man.
That
Or
literally is
it could be the 101. People love that number 101.
Mhm.
that was the
Also,
most
what
viewed.
you was right. Oh, right. We used Ball Blast because that was the joke. I was like, wait a minute, it's called Blast Ball, isn't it?
I mean, that
was a Red Knight's joke.
Yeah.
That outdid the Switch reveal podcast.
Well, it's also been 4 months compared to,
yeah, that's true, but
Yeah, you had more time
People-
to get more views.
you figure I don't really, don't see someone being that far behind and someday just watching that.
I need to
random
catch
podcast.
up, damn it. We
Are
gotta
you
watch
saying
all
you
the
don't have
games.
longevity, bro? Like I thought that too, because I did that Sega Saturn video, and that thing gets more and more views like every day now. Like
Jeez,
people, it's crazy. It's got longevity.
My surround sound basic tips and not tricks, but basic tips video
Tips and
I
tricks.
did for a few subscribers, and it's like over 90,000 views.
well,
and
I
get-
tell you what,
Yeah.
what's interesting about that, I typed in because I was looking up surround sound stuff, and I looked
And that was
up
the first one popped
speakers,
up.
like on YouTube, and like one of the first one was yours, and I just clicked it thinking whatever, and it was you. I was like, wait a second.
You know what's
It's
funny
That
about
shit was
that?
boring as hell.
I was trying to explain it for beginners as best I could, and then I gave like, hey, your center channel shouldn't be this low, but if you can't work around it, or here's a workaround if you can't avoid it. And my center channel, or my surrounds are here. This is why I put them here. This isn't ideal, but this is why I had to put them here. And you know how many comments I get? You can't have your center channel that low. You can't have your surround speakers there. I'm
Because
like,
people on
why did you
YouTube
put-
don't pay attention.
I'm like, so now my response to almost everybody is like, yeah, I covered that in the video. I gave my reasons in the video. Listen to what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, just fuck. And then if you're such an expert, why are you on a video of
Exactly.
basic surround sound?
I
That makes
think
no
they call
sense.
that exposed.
This one guy pointed out everything I said that was wrong, and I'm like, if you're so knowledgeable, why did you click on this video? I don't click on basic surround sound videos. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
right.
go seek those out. Shit, I've been doing it for 20 years. I don't need advice on like that. But anyway, that was off topic. And I don't think I did that video in 2015, I believe. So it's still getting views, still getting comments. Let's see. The next thing was ukulele. I wonder if that was.
Was that that was the toy box when that came out to backers.
Did it? Let's
Yeah,
see.
because I think I had it and somebody else had it, I thought.
Yeah, I didn't really go in. My description was pretty vague. We did talk about if Nintendo was to blame for all the NX rumors. I know people were saying it because Nintendo wasn't stepping in, they weren't dismissing anything, that it's their fault, that everybody's clicking on these rumors, making all these rumor vids. I remember that podcast pretty vividly because, some people were trying to point the blame at Nintendo, and it's like, what can they do? You can't comment on a rumor because you have to comment on 20 of them a week. It's just like, I don't know. Anybody have any thoughts on that?
No, I'm good.
Let's see. Metro Prime Federation Force hate. And let's see.
Was that when the game
think-
came out?
No, that was
Let's
when
see
the
what
game was
date-
announced.
No. Let's see. It was August 15th. I don't think the game came out yet.
No, I got thoughts on the last topic. I was having trouble with my mute button.
Yeah, I was wondering where you were.
You're so drunk you couldn't press the button, T.
I'm like,
Nah,
where's T? Quiet.
I was making a bath for my children's, and my fingers was wet, and I couldn't touch my. Couldn't touch. That don't sound right, do it. I couldn't touch the my touchpad on my laptop, man. And, but yes, I I forgot what I was going to use.
I think you might have been involved in the whole who's to blame Nintendo or
Yeah, I did
or,
make a video. I do remember making a video like something like Wii U, something like what NX rumors are Nintendo's fault. Oh, really? Or something like that. And like I had a picture of what's that comedian? The short dude.
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart, yeah. I had a picture of Kevin Hart with that stupid face as a thumbnail. Like, because that was the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. Like, how do you? It's so stupid. Like, why even like? What's the point of even arguing that? That was just the dumbest thing ever. Like, how?
I think their stance was Nintendo mentioned it too soon. That's why it was they were part to blame because they mentioned it
they mentioned the fact that they're working on a new console.
Yeah.
Something they do every fucking generation. Like every generation they've done that.
Yeah.
Every generation. They did it with the GameCube, they did it with Wii, they did it with everything. And nobody was upset. The only difference is that Wii U sucks. So I want something different now. I want some information on the next thing.
Yeah, and the next week we talked about, the Nintendo Minute played Federation Force. It was a great video, entertaining video, and then just the thumbs down. The haters came in droves to downvote a video that had, it's not their fault whether you were excited for the game or not. It was a good video, and then it was just basically pointing out just how mad people were, and they just taken it out on anybody that had a video with Metroid Prime in it. And then we talked about the GPU. Remember when it was AMD or is it NVIDIA? Remember that big old back and forth, and like how pointless that was. So important. Like, who fucking cares? And what brand it is. I would think now that's NVIDIA. Like I made a point in my Juice Opinions. Like people in the PC world, like NVIDIA is the shit. Like they're the top. They're the king. And now that it was confirmed to be NVIDIA, people still, it's like, where's that excitement that people think NVIDIA is so great? Like, why aren't you excited? But anyway.
It's not the Pascal. It's the Maxwell. Get the fuck out of here. You just learned about that shit 2 minutes ago.
Exactly.
It's so stupid.
I didn't discuss it because I didn't even know what. I heard someone say what the difference is. One Pascal, I guess, is a slightly more efficient. Would have got maybe some better battery life or something. So, but anyway, the next.
No, it's crazy, man.
Yeah. The next podcast, we talked about the timeless gameplay. That's after I downloaded Wave Race. And I remember just how awesome
64?
Yeah, Wave Race 64. I downloaded on the eShop on the Wii U. And I was just like, man, this game still plays great. So we kind of did a list of games. Rob kind of did, I don't know if he misunderstood the concept of timeless gameplay, but he did. He kind of just gave some games he really loved from long ago, whether they actually played great or not, like Resident Evil is one. But I remember
when Microsoft had more Nintendo games than the eShop did. Remember that time?
No, really.
Yeah, people were talking about that. I remember. Because of the rare replay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We did, for some reason, we talked about Project Scorpio. I don't know what news was related to that. And then we gave our impressions of Metroid Prime Federation Force, which kind of came and went. I mean, it's a good game. It's just the fact that it's co-op so focused. I think that's why it kind of fell off for me anyway. I mean, I beat it. I played through it a few times. Some of the levels were really awesome and just kind of forgotten. And maybe hopefully Nintendo won't give up on the series because of that. Let's see. PS Plus price hike. That's where Robert, you got attacked. I remember.
Yeah.
You were kind of defeated by the end of that podcast.
Corporate shill.
and now that you have your laptop and stuff, you say you don't think you're gonna renew.
I don't think I'll refund it because.
Renew it?
I mean, I don't really need. Yeah, well, refund it. I wish I could refund it. No, renew it. I don't really think I really need to renew it, just because. I mean, now that I have Overwatch on PC, the only multiplayer game I played on PS4 was Overwatch, and now I have it on PC. So I don't really need it.
Before you got here, or maybe it was before we started the podcast. I don't think I'd ever buy a multi-plat for the PS4. Like
really?
I can't think of a reason why I would, other than it would be like on sale or something, cheaper than the PC version. But it'd have to be comparable, like a good running game, like like I said, Rise of the Tomb Raider. I ain't gonna play it at 30 frames per second when on PC I can play it at 60.
Or like Arkham Knight, where actually the PC.
Well, yeah, in that
We don't talk
situation.
about that. Don't bring that shit up.
So yeah, that was the PlayStation price hike. I don't remember.
Yeah, we got Robert. Yeah, we got him.
We got him.
Peer pressure's a bitch. We win, yay!
You're just like, I don't care. It's $60. Who cares? It's $10. Here's a recommended video. Gamers lacking common sense is Nintendo's fault, with Kevin Hart picture.
Oh,
That's what it
That's
was.
funny that's in the recommended videos.
Nice.
Next week we talked about the 3DS lineup. I think just kind of talk about how good it is, or was it for this year? I don't.
It had to be for this year, but what the fuck?
I think
Was
it
it
was just kind
Dragon
of talking about how good it just their overall lineup is. Maybe.
Oh yeah, because I think was that when the direct happened or no?
Whose lineup?
This was
Remember
the
that was like a
3DS.
double-
Yes,
This was
Yeah,
in
remember that was-
September, and I don't remember this podcast at all.
I was like, we had a 3DS
Shit.
Focus direct, but I don't remember.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
had a
I'm not-
3DS Direct. That's right. Yeah.
So I don't know if that was it or not, but that might have been it.
I think we were also
Probably
because I
was.
didn't want to do a top 20.
Yeah, I think it is
for
because
3DS.
the Zelda 30th amiibo were also announced. didn't
Oh,
they?
that's
Right.
true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So yeah, that was a great podcast.
Notice how they put that. The Zelda 30th Amiibo in a damn 3DS podcast. That's how much they care about the Wii U, man. That's it.
We also got a whole bunch of fucking ports in that damn direct.
Ports from
All
Wii
right.
U to 3DS.
Yeah.
So, we did a NX reveal predictions podcast. No, that wasn't the next one. I jumped ahead. Indie game delays. The PS4 Pro versus Slim was the next one, and again, indie games. Where the hell is Hive Jump?
We don't talk about it.
That's crazy, actually.
Bloodstained. Obviously, we knew about.
What were we?
happened
Yeah,
with
what were we specifically referring to when you? I can't remember what.
Ukulele, I believe, got pushed in a quarter two.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Quarter one, but they pushed it technically again. If we're being,
Oh, I thought it was quarter two originally, because I
it
was
was quarter
thinking
one, and then that's why they said April, and technically,
that's not quarter one.
Yeah, delay confirmed.
That's just, it. I mean, it sucks because they got small teams and they probably run into problems. But where the fuck's Hive Jump? Like that was supposed to be a 20.
Oh,
late
people are
2015
fucking liars, man. They're
I
liars.
mean, regardless, that's the game that doesn't have the multiplayer, right?
Yeah, they cut the online stuff out of the
That's
Wii U
stupid.
version. I'm sure it's canceled now.
They cut out the Wii U version.
Yeah, just make the fucking switch, man.
They cut it out completely.
They made the switch. Ha! We're gonna keep using that pun all fucking year.
more than all year. It's gonna be for the next 4 or 5 years probably.
Oh yeah, true.
And then we talked about the Pro versus Slim, which it's just one of those stupid situations. I think that other than a few people who think you get the Pro, save up some money, get the Pro, I'm just like, I just don't see. I just think it's a weird situation. And Terrell, you're at Best Buy again, same huge pile of Pros.
Yeah.
Right after.
I feel like if you
Christmas,
have you had the PS4 already and you trade it in and you quote unquote upgrade it to the Pro, then that's probably a better way to go.
You know what the sad thing is though? I saw like no VR headsets in there. There's a whole bunch of PlayStation 4 Pros and Slims.
They don't even really sell it on. I remember on Amazon before you couldn't get it from PlayStation themselves, Sony.
I will
Sony just took that L and said,
That thing is already a failure.
don't
talk about it. Be quiet.
Somebody in my town got one for Christmas because it disappeared last week. The one they had on the shelf.
Right.
Uh,
The one
like-
they had.
Maybe they send it back to some.
Could be. But I go to my cousin's aunt's, my aunt and uncle's house yesterday, and my cousin's boyfriend, he's sitting there with Samsung VR. Like that's the VR people are going to be playing the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Because
how I
it's
got the
cheap, it's
phones.
easiest.
It's very convenient. It's
Mhm.
cheaper.
I think he said something about he was looking at Pokemon in VR. I was like, I should have.
Oh, he probably was playing Pokemon Go, bastard.
How do you play that in VR? Because it's like
Yeah, how do you
I
play
don't.
that
Hey,
game?
look, listen. I don't
because the
question.
screen is a long way. It's
Listen, we're not gonna
And
question.
you would have to walk. Think about it.
Yeah,
You would have to walk.
I maybe
break your ass.
We need to tether him to a damn bedpole or some shit. He walked too far, hit the door.
And then the next week we talked about indie games again. We gave our favorite indie games. That's after I'm thinking that's after I played Axiom Verge, which is still probably my
Probably.
all-time favorite, right there with Shantae
I
Pirates.
remember that.
I still haven't even touched it, man.
Or in the Blind Forest, you know, stuff like that.
Runner 2, people.
Never played that.
That was such a.
That's a really damn good game.
Runner
I
2
like
is
that.
awesome.
That was
Yeah.
one of the first. Yeah, that was one of the first indie games I picked up.
It's old though.
And then we talked about the good and bad changes in franchises. You know, I think God of War was. I don't even think we got to that game. There's so many other games we discussed. Resident Evil 7. You know, Resident Evil 4 made a big change, and it was for the better. You know, we'll have to see if Resident Evil.
Are they
7.
calling it Resident Evil 7?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they are.
It's Resident Evil 7 Biohazard or whatever.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
what is it
Hazard
in
is if you
Japan?
play the game.
Biohazard 7, Biohazard.
Yeah,
Because in Japan it's Biohazard. It's not Resident Evil.
yeah. Why is it?
Oh,
Maybe it's Biohazard 7, Resident Evil.
Can we
In
can we
Japan.
not?
Maybe
yeah,
it's-
that's true.
Maybe it's a piece of shit. Maybe.
They made the Switch too. Oh,
I will
Stop
say
it.
that
I
The
swear
demo
I'm gonna
released-
we're gonna break some consoles by the end of this.
the demo released on PC and Xbox One recently, and it's interesting. And like I said, don't play that after playing Doom. Like that was a huge mistake because Doom's so fast and Twitch shooting.
Uh-huh.
Resident Evil,
It's 7
like
is
you're
so
walking.
boring.
it's like you're walking waist deep in water or something. Like you're moving so
Tar.
slow. Tar, probably, yeah. And it's intentional. That's they want it to just like Fatal Frame. They intentionally hamper your mobility so that for whatever adds to the tension. So
I don't know how the
would
game's
say-
gonna be, but I was bored to death by the demo.
Where did you try the? Yeah, you got it on the PS4 was the newest
PS4,
version
yeah.
where they added the gun, and
I like how that's a major addition now.
there's.
You
I
get
mean,
a gun.
I like the atmosphere, but I did see. I'm not a huge fanboy. Like I've liked the past ones, but
Yeah,
I
me too.
watched IGN showed like the opening hour, and it's like throws you right into it. Like you have nothing, and you're just this dude's just like following you around for no reason, and he gets close, he kills you or something, and it's an interesting idea. I just still question naming it Resident Evil 7 and not like trying maybe a spin-off or something, but we'll see.
Especially coming after those Resident Evils that no one liked, and it just it's just weird. You should like restart it, like just call it Resident Evil again or something. Like
oh, that's
a
true.
lot of people have done, because it's so different than 4, 5, and 6 especially. So
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. Like I said, it's intrigued me enough for not just what I played, but what I've seen looks interesting, and it might turn out to be a cool direction for the series. But if you're gonna go first person, I think with better mechanics, obviously, but Zombie U, like there's zombies, and it's like dire situation. You don't have a lot of firepower. I mean, you get the gun, but the ammo's so limited, and like to me, like keep it zombies, but if you're gonna go first
that's the way
person,
you go. Yeah.
then go just make a way better version of Zombie U, and then I don't know. It's like now it's like, what do they call the infected person?
A hazard?
No, it's a different term. Like I forget what they call it, but if he bites you, then your veins turn black and stuff, and it's there's a name for it. It's not zombies anymore. It's not it's not whatever
Called
was in.
shit.
Jesus. All right, he's drunk, everybody.
Yeah. All right. So
Two still
Somebody
hurt.
take
Damn it.
away his rum.
And my damn two still hurt.
hold that thing. Pull it live on the air. Just get some pliers.
Hey, chill out.
Imagine.
dude. Listen, he need to have the camera on for that, man. You ain't gonna have no.
You tripping.
I'm about to say I want some views if we're gonna do that kind of shit.
All right. So the next podcast was the NX reveal predictions. I don't think that's when we didn't know it was coming out because it was a few weeks later. How long did they let us know? Like the night before?
It was like the night before.
It was the night before. I remember because
It was the night before the Switch reveal, and all through the house.
I remember
the podcast was stirring.
Wow.
I remember I was watching Harry Potter in IMAX, and I was like, "Oh, this is amazing!" And then my phone was vibrating. When it finished, I was like, "What? No way! You guys are kidding! It didn't really get revealed that we're gonna."
Robert, I need you to make a live reaction to like the 12th event because I feel like that shit's gonna be the funniest crap in the world.
Trust me, if literally they could announce anything, I was gonna be like, "No way!"
Yeah, because
amazing.
You came in, we were just reacting like crazy.
Pocket pool simulator.
I'd be like, featuring Mario? No way!
Yeah, we're gonna have to try to do on the 13th, that Friday. See if we can't.
Definitely, I'm not going to school.
Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That means someone's gonna die that day. We need to chill out.
We'll have to work around, see if Rob, because I know he's gonna be somewhere, and we'll have to see if we can work out a time that works for everybody. Because I want to get I don't want to not have everybody there for that one because that's gonna be a big one. So, all right, let's get through some of our. Let's see. Will the NX be revealed this week? Where did the predictions one. That's where we predicted the date. That's right.
Oh, so it wasn't actually the reveal?
Me and Rob guessed the 20th of October, and we got it. We were right on the. I mean, technically, it wasn't a full reveal, but it was. It was enough.
The one that mattered.
Yeah, it was enough of a reveal. It wasn't just a teaser. So then, that came out a couple weeks later. We had a big group discuss it. Nintendo Ultra was there, I think Red Knight, and that was big. Finding out what it was. I think I was the least excited at the time.
Yeah, because I think this is around the time we had that major kind of debate where me and you were kind of like,
yeah, we were going back and forth because you thinking it was going to be 3DS backwards compatible, and
because you weren't into the whole hybrid thing. You thought it'd be like two separate things, like a console variant and a handheld.
Well, maybe you still will. We don't know, people.
I still think to this day, just yesterday, I was like, if they just make a box that plugs in your TV for $100 cheaper, that had the exact same specs, I would probably buy that version.
Yeah, I know you would.
So.
I remember that day. I remember when that was revealed, and I was like, yeah, I was right about that shit.
What would they call it, though? What would they call it? It's not a Switch anymore.
It'd be
call it the box.
Nintendo Home.
They call it the shit.
Oh, wait, isn't PlayStation? Oh, no, it's PlayStation TV.
Take this man's rum. Let me sing it.
See, to me,
Nintendo shit.
Oh, God.
I've always been saying that.
Pooping out Koopa shells and shit. Got fucking stars coming out my ass.
A console handheld hybrid, and it was. And yes, I'm so excited.
Pretty much the rest of the way. I mean, they're pretty recent. We talked about.
Hey, Juice, remember what happened a month ago?
Yeah. We had the Wii U port situation. There's still rumors everywhere, so we talked about that. What else did we hear?
That's crazy. That was a month ago. I felt like that was like a week ago or something.
So, all right, so let's just get everybody's thoughts on how they felt 2016 was for gaming for them. We'll start with T, since you don't want to wait any. As longer we wait, the more drunk he'll be. So
I know he's gonna fight that shit. We're gonna like a thud.
I'm just bullshitting, guys. Come on. Outside a couple of games, this has been one of the worst years for me. No, it was pretty good. It was decent. Definitely could have been better. Standouts were Xenoblade. Obviously, I didn't really start Xenoblade until January anyway. So, Xenoblade, Star Fox, Tokyo Mirage Session is my game of the year. I don't know if we've done a show like that, but
oh, really?
That's my game of the year.
Next week. Why'd you spoil that, man?
I spoiled it. Sorry.
I'm actually surprised. Holy shit! Alert.
I didn't know you played it.
Actually, I think
you like barely talked about the damn game.
Actually, I think it's gonna be spoiled beforehand anyway. So, because I did something with Nintendo Ultra and a bunch of other Nintendo YouTubers, and
I don't know when it's coming out, though.
I wasn't invited.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. But
I didn't even know you beat that game. I thought you played it.
Yeah, you like talking.
Dana quietly handled that biatch.
Ain't this some shit? Damn mad.
So how would you say 2016 compared to 2015 for you for gaming?
Compared to 2015, you said?
Mm-hmm. Because a lot of people thought that was a down year. I thought it was.
2015 was awesome.
I thought so.
I would say 2015 was better. I don't know about how much, but I would say it was better. Who thought it was a down year? That was a good year.
Latino fans.
Not even then. They got some of the best Wii U games last year.
No, they were. If it wasn't Smash or Mario Kart, they were damn.
The people that brought up Ultra Smash and Amiibo Festival constantly instead of Splatoon,
they didn't bring up fucking Splatoon.
Mario Maker.
Robert became like a full.
That was December. Oh yeah, that was last year.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta get back to that.
How's Color Splash going, Robert?
What was that? Y'all talking about me?
My connection breaking up.
I'm still holding my prediction that he's not gonna finish it.
Now I'm not gonna finish it. I'm so close.
Stop dicking around.
I didn't even tell y'all I was playing that game. So y'all didn't even know. You asked me, what you been playing? No.
Did you 100% it? Imagine.
No. Yeah, you talking about
imagine?
That's crazy talk.
Did you ever play,
that must have been super long, right?
Yeah, that's like over 100 hours near it.
Oh.
Did you ever play Paper Mario?
No, did I play it? Yeah, I'm worse off than Robert is for sure.
Well, I mean, I'm like
I'm going to play it.
You know.
I'm going to
play is like a cloud that's looming over my gaming
head.
Weird. It's a good cloud, but it's just like I want to get.
It's hovering over your mohawk, man. It's just
it's just hovering. And once I get that done, I'm gonna go through games. So, because I'm grinding, man. Grinding takes freaking forever now that I'm like not. And
I don't know, man.
You know what pisses me off? Fucking.
I feel like I'm not doing something right.
You're not doing something
worse.
right, dude. Because I was at 60, level 60 at about 160 to. No wait. How many hours did I have when I beat it?
I don't know. It was over 100.
I think by about 140 hours, I was at well over 60. You know, I was at 60, and I would have been at 80 if it didn't peak or stop at 60. Like, I can tell you right now, if you got your flight module, which you do, you go to the most northern point in Noctilum.
Where you look? You're talking about those damn crocodile enemies?
Yeah, there's these level 60 crocodile things. If you got 4 skulls, you can take them out real easy, and they give you all kinds of XP. There's
but
3
you need
or 4
to have like the right weapons on your damn scale, though.
I don't know if I got
because there's one particular weapon that does like an ass amount of damage.
Yeah, I mean, still, they're not that much of a threat.
I don't know. I got my shit killed by them a few times, so.
Either way, like you definitely should be at 60 by now with that many hours.
But then again, like I blew like 80 hours just bullshit, like just exploring, just running through, not fast traveling. Like,
but you should have been.
Oh yeah, because that was one of those things that no one knew about.
In the beginning, I just spent all kinds of time just running.
Yeah, it's like GTA. It's kind of like how GTA is. It's like, you can spend 500 hours in GTA and spend like
not do anything.
Yeah, I still battle quite frequently, even when I was exploring.
I was avoiding a lot of battles when I was early on.
I'm about to say, you gotta realize early when you're in the beginning of Xenoblade, that shit scares the fuck out of you, man.
Yeah, it's so daunting.
Some fucking giant monkeys throwing rocks and shit.
I know.
Yeah,
that was still like my favorite part of that damn trailer they did.
Yeah. It's like, run away. Oop, no, you ain't.
Where you going?
Now I'm I can be out of my skull by myself and take on a few pretty big enemies, and it's like I just feel like a badass. All right, so let's see, Terrell, what's your thoughts on 2016?
I've RPG'd myself to death this year. Now that I think about it, holy shit. Overall, it was a good year. I mean, I don't know, man. It wasn't bad, but when you look at the previous years, they were just better. I think what kind of helped this year is that you had a lot of games continue over into this year. Like Splatoon didn't get its last update until like the beginning of this year. Smash Brothers got its DLC, And then I had like new games to kind of carry me through, like Fire Emblem and Tokyo Mirage Sessions and Pokemon Tournament. So like I know a lot of people who were Nintendo only owners didn't really get that much out of their system. And I will say it's been like that for me maybe towards the end of this year because I didn't pick up Paper Mario, so I legitimately didn't have anything to play on it for like 3 months until Shantae came out, and I beat that in like a week. But and even just looking at the other consoles, it wasn't really too much appealing. I mean, the only game I hear any real praise about is like Witcher DLC, fucking
well, yeah, the DLC.
yeah, Overwatch and like Uncharted, and like because Street Fighter was a fucking travesty among other games. So
I mean, there was some games came out that seemed to be well reviewed that just kind of
Nobody bought.
like
Doom.
Titanfall 2.
You got Doom was a pretty, people liked it that played it. And then you had, Titanfall 2, Watch Dogs 2, both kind of didn't do anything.
Better than the previous game, scored better.
It seemed to be way better. What else was, like Overwatch was pretty popular, and Battlefield 1 seemed to be pretty popular and well received. So I mean,
not really.
I couldn't tell you that I've seen anyone talk about or play the newest Madden. Like, I know that's so insignificant.
That's true.
For us, but usually you see or hear somebody talk about it, and it's like, did that even come out this year? It's like, who's on the cover? I wouldn't even know.
That's different.
Usually, you at least know who's on the cover and stuff.
Probably one of those fucking Patriots.
Probably. Or a Seahawk. It's either Seahawk or a Patriot, probably.
All this salt.
But yeah. So Robert, you played the most games this year, I guarantee. So how'd you feel about 2016 as a whole?
I liked it. It was pretty awesome. Last year though was better. Just because, come on, it's Splatoon. But you also had, I really, really loved Fallout 4. Xenoblade, which I haven't finished, but still, all of what I played was awesome. And I mean, compared to other games, technically you would have beaten it times 3. Like Uncharted, takes you 9 hours to beat. Well,
no, I think it's 15. There's 4 or 5 hours of cutscenes, so unless you skip those, and it would take you.
Then it's like 5 hours.
I think I could beat it in 7-8 hours with skipping the cutscenes. It took me 15 the first time.
Yeah, and I think for me, it took I think it was 11, something like that. I forget. But there were a lot more games that I could say last year that I would. That kind of have the longevity, like Super Mario Maker was awesome.
Yeah.
Those kind of games I've played hundreds of hours. I don't think I played a game that released this year hundreds of hours. You know what I mean?
Well, the only ones I played hundreds of hours were 2015 games.
Exactly.
Smash. So our 2014 game and 2 2015 games.
Yeah, that's the thing is that this year didn't have those kind of games, which are always kind of the best ones, you would say.
Well, I'm sure if you played Final Fantasy 15 more than the first 2 days you had it, you might be able to get 100 hours into it.
Well, probably, but at the same time,
just because you got to watch the car. You got to watch that car.
I heard the main story is like 28 hours or something. I think you could beat that in it is not 100 hours, but it was an interesting year because this year I really did enjoy. It's not like I didn't. There were a lot of games, a lot of smaller games that I had a lot of fun with, like Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare 2. Awesome as game that gets, I think, overshadowed a lot that no one talks about.
Yeah, but I said that was another one of those sequels that was just as good and and it got dropped almost a month after it launched.
And Unraveled. Remember Unraveled?
I beat Unraveled. I thought Unraveled was really good. I liked that one a lot. There were games. There was another game called Grow Up, which the sequel to Grow Home, and that one was a lot of fun. I think that probably got the same amount of praise. It's a smaller indie game sort of thing that what's it called? Ubisoft published, I believe. They published. How they do the little indie game published, and they did that for Grow Up, and really fun game that I definitely recommend. That you kind of just sit down, you relax, and you play the game, and it's fun. Then of course Paper Mario Color Splash. I love that game. I haven't beaten it, but I've almost put in almost
Loves
40.
it so much you can't play it.
I know. What kind of shit is that?
Think about it. I put in almost 40 hours. So
It gives him an aneurysm. That's
Well,
what
he's
that
seen.
He got 40 hours in on. You got to
Yeah.
give him some credit for that.
you know that's a lot of hours for a game that I'm sure most people would have already finished by 40 hours. I'm slow when it comes to, even if it's kind of an RPG, I take a
How
long
far
time.
into Super
me
Paper
too.
Mario did you get?
Oh,
I'm trying to remember, like chapter 4.
oh, that was no, it was like chapter 2 or 3.
Chapter 2.
You didn't even play the 3DS one, so
No, I didn't play the 3. Oh, so that's obviously older games, but I did play Paper Mario and the Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door this year, which are some of the best games of all time, people.
so yeah. Next week, when we do our top 5,
Mm-hmm.
I also want to cover, because I played a lot of the games I played or started this year were 2015 titles. Metal Gear Solid 5. What was the well, not even 2015. I played Uncharted 2 for the first time this year. God, what was the other couple? There's a couple. There's Wonderful 101.
Did you? How far have you gotten to that, Juice?
I'm about halfway, I think.
Really?
Wow.
Oh, that's gonna be that. So that was your Tokyo Mirage sessions. You ain't tell nobody you were still playing it.
Yeah, it's one of those things though. Every mission, I just can't wait for the mission to end. Like,
Wow.
I'm like, can this be over? Is this over? No, damn it. Like that's where I'm at with the game. It's not fun to me. I don't know. I'm just not into it.
It's just
whatever.
work now. Now it's just work.
Yeah, for whatever reason, playing it after Bayonetta, I don't know. It's just,
I'm surprised.
I don't really care. Like the cutscenes and stuff aren't really. I mean, there's some pretty funny dialogue, but it didn't suck me in like I thought it was. And so yeah, next week will be our top 5 games of the year, and also a lot, games we've been playing that were on our backlog. Like I played some games on, got a Shovel Knight, the DLC. Finally started playing that, and so it's not just going to be about our top 5. So we'll have to cover more than that. But yeah, my thoughts on 2016 was it was a pretty big drop off for 2015. I picked up the PS4 late in the year, and I bought Gravity Rush and Ratchet and Clank. They've both been kind of just average, nothing special. Uncharted 4 was good, but nothing amazing. So from the Nintendo standpoint, obviously it was a down year. I really probably should have got Tokyo Mirage Sessions back when it came out, and I think I would have gotten into that, but I think with my PC, I didn't really feel inclined to buy much other than Rise of the Tomb Raider. There wasn't Doom was kind of on my mind for a little bit, but other than that, I just didn't feel compelled. Like the previous couple years, I had too many games. I couldn't even. It was hard to make a top 5, and the reason it's hard to make a top 5 this year is because I barely played 5 games that were worth even like being on a list. Because Kirby and Planet Robobot, like that don't deserve to be on my top 5, even if it was the 5th game I had played before I got my PS4. And I was like, yeah, I need to play some more games. So it wasn't the best year, and maybe someday I'll pick up some of these like Watch Dogs 2 or something when it's super cheap, and give Titanfall 2 or Watch Dogs 2 a chance, a try later on. But overall, it wasn't a great year. I thought 2015 was equal to 2014. I made my video last year, and some people disagreed, but overall, it's been a fun year as far as just podcasts. We've had a lot to talk about. All the rumors, all the speculation, whether it's, you hate it or love it, still gave us something to talk about. And I think thinking about it just from the podcast standpoint, it's been a great year. I think this year we having a steady crew and we all have good chemistry together. I think it really elevated the quality of the podcast, and seemed like people have been enjoying them. So from that standpoint, 2016 was pretty successful, and we'll try to, keep rolling in 2017. We'll see, with schedules and stuff, you never know what could happen, but I still plan on doing them. And hopefully a year from now, we'll be doing a 2017 retrospective video, and hopefully you guys will all be there. So
by then I'll be at 50,000 subscribers, and I won't have to do it.
Hopefully you're making movies or something, and you don't have time for podcasts.
Right. Well,
So
Yeah.
I always make
But
time.
yeah,
regardless.
He's like, we'll make time, God damn it.
but yeah, we'll just do the final thoughts, and this will be the last podcast of the year. So I mean, it'll be if you want to put a little bit more into your final thoughts, take it away. We'll start with Ms. T.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna do another podcast before the year ends. So
No,
no.
it'll be after.
Damn, what if I get
the
the
next
memo,
one's-
dog? What's going
The
on?
next one is January 2nd.
What am I talking about? Yeah, this.
We
See?
gotta get the memo,
You
man.
see? You see?
Put the rum down.
That's why I was giving my game of the year because it's still this year. So,
Well, you haven't even played Shantae yet, so
well, anyway, that's true. I have not. Well, anyway, 2016 was a pretty good year in gaming. I think 2015 to 2016 has been like a rejuvenating year for me as far as my me being in tune to like buying and playing video games. Probably since late GameCube, like 2004, 2005, right before I went to college and stuff. So, so that's cool that I've kind of gotten back into. You know, I'm not as good as I used to be. Still suck at Mario Kart, and but yeah, it's been a pretty good year for gaming. Next year looks to be outstanding. So
sure.
definitely looking forward to that. And big changes coming to my channel next year as well, early next year. So you guys look forward to that, and continue to play Nintendo fools.
yeah, T, you've been telling us there's been changes coming for like 4 months now. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
about to
I
say, you're
have.
just as bad as Robert with this
I've
shit.
been pushing it back like Mighty Number 9, but you know,
Wow.
I ain't gonna take your money. That's I'm not gonna do
that
that.
came out this year, didn't it?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
We don't talk about it. Don't remind me of things that make me sad, Juice.
I was looking at the video where they were showing like the early footage and
You just
talk
make me
about a
mad.
downgrade. It just makes you mad. It makes you
Mhm.
mad.
Shit.
So
All right, Terrell, what's your final thoughts and last words for 2016, man?
Final thoughts is everybody enjoy their New Year's, and hopefully don't die from doing anything stupid. As far as 2016's been concerned, because because my New Year's will be spent doing whatever my mom wants, because her birthday is actually New Year's Day, so that'll be a night. We gotta go in. I go in there and harass her at 12 o'clock, and then she tells me to get out and throw something at me. Because she doesn't like to remind her how old she is.
Mhm.
But yeah, 2016 gaming wise was fine-ish. I probably would say I played. It was kind of more of a downward clock for me when it comes to the Wii U than anything else, because I felt like I was playing the console like a madman between X and Pokken, and even with the 3DS stuff, I was still playing it because Star Fox. And then like as soon as we hit like after summer, like after I finished Tokyo Mirage Sessions, I just kind of went. So I'm hoping. And I'm really hoping the beginning of next year with all the Switch stuff will kind of revitalize my console gaming, because I've been on my handheld grind for like the last 6 months. And just hoping for better games, man. So happy New Year's, and I like playing video games, and life's a gameplay to win.
All right. How about you, Robert? What's your final thoughts and any big plans for your channel in 2017?
So I plan to upload videos.
I was gonna say, you start by making more videos in that bit.
Or just more skits.
You know,
Kylo Ren will get me in
He's a
trouble.
busy man. He has to watch Star Wars 20 times.
I know. I'm telling you, it's like Kylo Ren's gonna keep getting him in trouble, man.
yeah, you know, yeah. I mean, in terms of my channel, I would love to be more consistent, but I also like to try to edit them, you know, a lot. So
A lot of work.
I don't. Yeah, it's
You got that beefy PC, man. What's going on?
no. Well, you know, like for instance, this 31st, I'll have a top 10 games of 2016. But I'm writing a script for it, like last year, so I gotta actually write something and then do it, and then edit it, and then render it, and then make a thumbnail, and then upload it. You know, You know, Mr. T, I think you know
Yeah, I
a
mean,
lot
it
too.
don't
It's
matter.
like,
how
he over here making movies and shit.
No matter how powerful your PC is, that bitch ain't editing for you. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're like, I don't feel like it today.
I don't feel like it, man. I'd rather lay here and scratch my balls, you know. So
and yeah, I do have something planned. And listen, 2016 was still awesome. I loved it. I love this podcast.
I love you guys.
I know it's gonna get like real awkward in a second. I'll be like, I gotta go. I'm emotionally constipated.
All the movies that came out were awesome.
I fucking knew it.
Go see Fantastic Beasts, guys.
Oh god,
it's still in theaters.
I'm gonna go take a nap. Fuck this shit.
It's still playing twice at my theater. So, and then the games were still fun. And all the things are fun, Fun is fun. You gotta.
Are you high?
So,
guys.
You can't announce anything yet, but I think you'll have something cool to announce. Maybe
pretty
by
damn soon. Hopefully, it should be pretty awesome.
So,
and next year's the first couple months is gonna be intense. Not intense as in bad, intense as in I'm loving this year.
So just want to thank everybody for this whole year. You guys, and then the people who watch these videos, the live viewers, been awesome this year, especially the last half. And we must be doing something right. So, but yeah, I appreciate you guys for doing the podcast with me, and then everybody for tuning in and commenting and asking questions. So we'll try to, I'm going to say we're going to try to get better each year, but we'll try to stay consistent. Because I'm not one of those executives who make ridiculous goals of growth for your company.
The growth goals.
We're going to get 20% better for next year. 20. That's like, give me a break. That's, 1/5 better. Like, come on.
That's a lot.
But, we'll just try to keep it consistent, keep it fun. We're going to have a lot of Nintendo stuff to talk about in 2017. It's going to be, getting more, we'll probably be more focused on Nintendo than we were this year because of the lack of things to talk about. For, a couple months, a couple podcasts there, we didn't have much to talk about Nintendo related. So it's very exciting. And like T said, I think 2017, I mean, the games we know about, Zelda and probably 3D Mario, but there's a lot of games we don't know involving the Switch, and I'm excited for Horizon Zero Dawn and just everything Nintendo's bringing. So it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
No, God.
I will just remind people January 2nd is going to be our top 5 games of 2016. I'm going to
top 4 for Mr. T, apparently.
Top 4. I'm going to try to like look at my play times for like Smash and stuff just to see where they rank. I'm going to, it's going to have to go through each month and add them up. I'm curious what my play time was on some of the older games this year. And it should be fun. And then the 9th, that's the big one. That's our predictions for the Switch event.
I don't think I'll be available for that one.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'll be gone.
Yeah.
I'll be traveling the South Atlantic.
Yeah.
So I wonder, I don't know, maybe we'll try to work it out so you can give us some of your predictions ahead of time.
Yeah.
And I'll just read them or something.
Yeah.
So
we'll
I'll
CGI your voice.
So it's going to be exciting. And then try to do that Friday after the 13th. We'll try to do our reactions the next day. So it's going to be a exciting first few podcasts of the year, and a short wait till the Switch launches. So I'm excited. And like I said, 2016 was a great year, I think, for the podcast. We had a lot of fun, a lot of laughs. And we'll try to do it again 2017. So everybody have a safe New Year's, and we'll see you next year.